Greetings, RSN team. I'm Carol Talbert, RSN Field Operations Support Team Manager. I'm excited today to introduce you to our new Parts Closer to the Customer podcast series, where we will examine multiple operational initiatives in progress and review the long-term impact and metrics that will help us achieve success as a support organization. In our first episode today, we will focus on the foundation of parts closer to the customer and really set the stage of our focus, which is to recapture industry leadership in support and service. Joining me today is Vice President of RSN, Jim Floberg, to help us review our foundational strategy. Jim, thank you for joining me for today's episode.
Carol, thank you for taking time out and having me be a part of this. I'm glad to be here. You know, it's great to have the opportunity to discuss and review our strategic focus and how each member of our team can play a vital role in our success, and that's what this is all about.
So let's set the clock for 5 minutes on this podcast to ensure we remain focused, and let's jump right in, if that's okay.
Sure.
First question, Jim. How does our overall strategy link to the Parts Closer to the Customer initiative, and how do you see the strategy for achieving this goal?
Well, you know, this really links to a few things. It links directly to our North American strategy, which has a key pillar of deliver excellence every day. And we've said that's what we need to be focused on. But it's also connected to our being brilliant at the basics work stream, part of the global service strategy that we've spoken about. Each element here really fits together to provide an enterprise solution to help us ultimately get on this path and achieve this goal of recapturing the number one position in support and service. And so key for that is to be able to get the right part in the right place at the right time, so we can get the most out of our talented individuals and not have them waiting on the parts that they need.
What's the investment, Jim?
Well, it's really in a few different areas. One, we've done an RFP, as we've communicated, for a new reestablish a new partnership with our third-party logistics provider for spare part management, and as we know that has been a big effort we went through last year, and we're excited about going down the path of a transition this year. But also this initiative where we've had to evaluate all of our all elements of our Parts Closer to the Customer strategy for the field stocking locations as well as trunk stock. This is taking a deeper look at the data to highlight areas where we should be focused on so that we can get the most out of that investment. And then last, the new field service solution, as you know, Carol, is going to simplify workflows for ordering and consuming spare parts. And so all of these things, while seemingly disparate, are all connected to investment in our strategy around parts.
Very exciting, Jim. Then what are we doing in terms of excess inventory?
Well, it's been a big initiative. You've been front and center there, Carol, in managing our excess inventory through cleanup efforts. We think that will set us up for success with the transition to this new vendor partner that we have for managing spare parts. We want to get everything cleaned up in advance so that when we move to the new relationship, it's an easier transition without bad data being brought over. But also, it's important to note, we're not looking at this cleanup effort as a reduction in our investment into inventory. Rather, it's an effort to free up inventory that's not being used on the books so that we can have cash to invest where we need it, when we need it for spare parts. The goal here is to have the right part in the right place at the right time. And so by kind of taking care of our shop well with spare parts management, we'll be able to handle that and have a good process for making the right choices of our spare part investments. And so that's why we're going through this effort on cleaning up the excess inventory.
Thank you, Jim, for taking time today to help us really set the stage for our success with the Parts Closer to the Customer strategy and driving the right parts, the right place at the right time. As I stated previously, our goal in this new podcast series is to provide you, the audience, digestible updates on our Parts Closer to the Customer initiative. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we will review our FedEx partnership strategy in a bit more detail. Thank you.
Thank you.